What's happening, fam? How's everybody doing? So before I start this video, I just wanted to address something really quick. I went out for a ride, and boy, let me tell you, this bike is performing better than ever. During the video, you're gonna see me change the oil with Amsoil 1040 fully synthetic metric oil for metric cruises and whatnot. And I'll tell you, man, the bike is riding better than ever, shifting smooth, running through all the gears, and obviously you saw me change the final drive oil as well. On that ride, what I was thinking about, as you'll see during the end of the video, you'll see me go through the processes of what the manual explains, how to check the oil. Now remember, the manual states that you have to let the bike run on the side stand or idle on the side stand for 15 minutes. Then while it's idling, sit it upright for 30 seconds idling, and then after the 30 seconds, back down on the side stand for another 10 seconds. And then they state, let it cool for 3 minutes. Guys, the manual does not state if you should sit the bike up to cool it down. Anybody can assume that if the bike is sitting on the side stand for that 10 seconds from that final step, you're gonna just shut it off and just leave it on the side stand to cool down. And then what you see me do yesterday is pretty much after that cool down period, I sit it upright, check the oil, and oil level was fantastic. So now while I was riding, I was actually thinking about that, because you see guys debating on forums, and a lot of people still have that question on what's the right way to do it. So what I did was, when I got home from the ride just now, I let the bike idle still, even though it was hot. I let the bike idle for 15 minutes on the side stand, sit it upright idling for 30 seconds, then back down on the side stand for 10 seconds, and then I shut it off with the bike upright, and I sat on the bike upright for 3 minutes, and the oil level did not change. So just wanted to just clear that up for you guys. All right, so hopefully that helps a little bit for anybody who's confused. See you in the video. What's happening, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. So as you saw from the intro, time to change the oil. Just finished from a ride, and this bad boy has roughly 496 miles on the clock. So it's time to do it. And I'm pretty much, it's cloudy, but looks like I feel a little drop on me. So we're gonna have to go through the motions pretty fast. What you're gonna need, guys, is a torque wrench. I actually have something that will be of interest to you. I had it in a previous video. It's like a torque head, so you don't have to buy an expensive, like an entire torque wrench. And you need a 17 mil socket, and also I'll be changing the oil in the gears as well for the final drive over here. The gear oil, which will take 7590 or 8090, any type of GL5 specific oil for high poured gears. High poured gears are like what's inside of a differential, and it's definitely like what's inside of this direct drive in here. And obviously, guys, you saw, hopefully you guys tuned into that video, got this thing standing up here upright. If you have something like this that you normally use for your car, steal one of your wife's pans like this, and that will be perfect to drain the oil in, okay, for your motor oil and your gear oil. All right, so now really trying to see if this rain is going to come down here. But anyway, guys, super important, what you're going to definitely need, hopefully you guys went out and got crush washers. Every time you change the motor oil in these bikes, you definitely want to use crush washers, because sometimes, a lot of times, they're made to be damaged. So you definitely don't want to reuse washers when you're doing this. A lot of times you could possibly get away with it if you forgot, but I would highly recommend you changing this. I'll actually link that and the part number in the description. I actually picked up some yesterday. Let me show you how it looks. I actually had it inside of my wallet. This is it right here. part number 09168-14004, and I just got 4 of them. Okay, so you definitely want to pick up a set of those, or I picked up 2 sets, you never know. Okay, and that's it for the oil. I'll go through, once I finish draining and changing the filter, I'm going to refill it. I'm going to start off with about 3.5 quarts. Okay, and there's a procedure. Obviously, let the bike run on the side stand for 15 minutes, stand the bike up for 30 seconds, put it back down on the side stand for 10 seconds, turn it off, and then check it. Guys, when you check the oil in the bike has to be upright. Just remember that. And obviously, guys, I'm using the best right here, Amsoil. Definitely for metric motorcycle oil. Oil cools, cleans, lubricates, and seals. And I'm using an Amsoil filter here that can filter down to 20 microns. And I'm sure these bikes have magnetic plugs, so I can't wait to see the condition of the oil. And let me tell you, I don't know how you guys broke in your motorcycles, but I definitely didn't break it in as per Suzuki. They want you to just keep this thing at not to go above 3,000 RPM. Guys, I don't know about you, but I literally have a race car here that I use as the show car, and definitely don't break in motors like that. Majority of the people will tell you, ride the bike as normal, how you would ride it normally. Obviously, guys, don't freaking hold the bike to red line like constantly in every gear. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? You vary RPMs in each gear, heat cycles, you know what I mean? Ride it a little bit, bring it back, let it cool, ride it again. You know what I'm saying? Let's say in 4th gear, take it up 5,000, 6,000 RPM, let the bike slow down on itself, like a little engine braking, things like that. You have to vary, because the purpose of braking in is having the rings seat against the walls, okay? So you don't have oil going past the ring. That's mainly what you want. Most guys break in a bike within the first 100 miles. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't agree how, you know, I mean, a lot of these manufacturers set standards for breaking in, and it'll take you, if you don't go like, I'm just saying, 3,000 RPM, it'll take you a while to break in that bike. You know what I mean? A while, put it like that. But anyway, guys, enough about that. And obviously this is my opinion. You could do whatever the hell you want. Okay, again, I'll link everything that I have here in the description. So you're gonna need a 17 mil socket for the oil and the top gear plug. You're gonna need a 21 millimeter socket for the drain plug for the gear, or you can use a 13/16. It's an exact fit. This is a 13/16 here. Watch this. Exact fit, like can't even budge it. Okay, so 13/16 will be perfect right there. Once you're finished, this gets torqued down to 16.5 foot-pounds. This you snug. You don't over tighten this. This has a rubber seal on it. Just snug it. Okay, otherwise you're gonna freaking strip out the threads, and then you're gonna have a freaking problem. And guys, actually the drain plugs as well, 16.5 pound-feet of torque. And the oil filter is right to the front over here, in case you don't know. I'm sure some of you do know it. The oil filter is right here, okay? So most likely, hopefully I don't have to freaking remove any of the fairings to get to this. This should be rather easy, yet I don't know how freaking tight they probably tightened this thing from the factory. So that's the other freaking issue. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm gonna time lapse the rest of it. All right, guys, so when you're refilling this, as soon as it starts trickling out this window, that's when you know it's good. All right, the moment it starts trickling out the window, that's when you know the level is good. And it takes about 6.8 to 7.5 ounces, not much. It doesn't take that much, you know what I mean? So if you have, you know what I mean, 1 bag of this Amsoil Severe Gear, it'll last you a long time. Guys, let me tell you, man, the performance of this stuff is freaking fantastic. I use this stuff in my Ram 2500. all my cars take freaking Amsoil. My race car right there, that's $5.50. My wife's car, I think it's $5.30 or $5.20, somewhere around there. And I run these oils for my wife's car 8,000 to 10,000 miles. My diesel 10,000 miles, easy until the next oil change. And because the oils perform so well. I've done independent testing on them, sent them out to get tested, and the oils hold up. Okay, so as I said, just take your time, fill this, and once it starts trickling out, you are pretty much straight. Oh, I think we are here. Yep. So now once you're done, in the time lapse you saw me torque this down, 16.5 foot-pounds. It's the same thing for the oil drain plugs. And obviously in the time lapse you saw me cleaning this thing. Look at this, all that black stuff, filings. That's the reason why I'm doing this gear oil as well. Let me see if I can show you through the window here real quick. This is how the high point gearing looks in there. I'll put up a picture and you'll see what I'm saying. You can see the level of the oil right there, right up to the freaking window. It's like right there. Okay, I'm gonna add a little tad more. Okay, yeah, it's literally about to trickle out. So I think that should be freaking good right there. You can see the gold in that oil right there. Oh yeah, I think we're good. All right, so let me tackle the let me start draining the motor oil now. So guys, in this case, my crush washer was actually still in good condition, but just for merit's sake, I gotta just pretty much hold it and pretty much just unthread the bolt from it. It was a little difficult at first, but pretty much I'm getting it right here. Just make sure you don't damage the threads. This is the old one right here. My crush washer was actually in really good condition. Obviously the bike is freaking new, but you know what I mean, you just want to make it a habit of changing them every time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first, that's the drainage of the first one. Actually fill that damn thing up. So I'm going to drain it in here and crack the second one open. Not gonna lie guys, this oil, the way it looks, had a lot of filings in it. Not big filings, but normal as for a bike that's been broken in or a car that's been broken in. You could tell from the consistency of the oil. That's a good thing though. All right, let me finish this up. That bad boy is freaking hot. Woo! That burnt a little. It's a decent amount of oil in here. Decent amount of oil. Yeah, the front one doesn't have as much as the rear, but still a decent amount of oil. I would say it looks like at least freaking 4 quarts of oil, but we'll see. All right guys, so new crush washer is on. Guys, make sure you clean the area where the magnet is, because you want that magnet to do its job. Okay, get all that metal filings off of it and you're pretty much good. All right, let's screw this one back in and get to that oil filter. All right guys, I actually managed to get the filter broken loose with this filter wrench right here. It's a super small one. Let's see. What is up with this freaking weather? Yes, freaking victory. Okay. Shoot. Yep, freak ass rain out of nowhere. It's a good thing I had a damn cover. I had just bought a cover for the bike. I was like, I'm probably never gonna use it because I never ride in the rain or anything, or ride to get caught in the rain. Just so happens, this just came down, and it's a good thing. Could just protect it so it doesn't get wet. And the filter's actually still draining, so should be done by now. So while this rain is still falling, Picked up all the papers and stuff like that. Actually put on the new oil filter. Guys, when you're putting on that new filter, make sure you wipe down the mounting plate. Just double check to see if the spindle, that's the thing that the filter screws onto, it's tight, because sometimes the spindle can get loose. It's rare, but it can happen. And make sure, the biggest thing is, make sure you lubricate the gasket on the new filter, and make sure the old filter, the gasket, this rubber O-ring here, comes out with the old filter. You don't want to leave that thing on there, because sometimes you can get stuck on there, and then not knowing, you didn't check, and you put on a new filter with another O-ring on there. Once you start the bike or car, that thing is going to start spraying like you never got sprayed before. It's going to be oil everywhere. All right, so let's let this drain, and yep, there it goes. Let that drain, and I'm just waiting for this rain to pass. Then we start filling up the oil. All right, guys, so I added about 3 1/4 to 3 1/2. Now I'm about to set a timer for 15 minutes and let it idle. All right, guys, so I got about 14 minutes to go. The main thing is when you start the bike, you want to make sure that oil pressure light goes off, okay? And while that's happening, you're looking at the drain plugs, you're looking at the oil filter to make sure there's no freaking leaks at the bottom. All right, I already checked mine, so I'm pretty good. My drain plugs are torqued, my gears are torqued. This is an old gasket right here, an old crush washer that I lost before. Throw that over there, okay? Now, while that's going on, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure and double check to make sure my filter is tight. Guys, all you do not need to tighten that shit with a filter wrench, okay? Tighten it up tight and let's give it a nice quarter turn again with your hands, and that should be fine. Once that heats up, that gasket or that O-ring swells and it tightens that filter even more, okay? So just be wary of that. From the factory, they over tighten these things, and they do it in cars, bikes, they do it pretty much in everything, okay? So I got about 12 or 13 minutes again. As I said, guys, I'm gonna let this bad boy idle and I'll get back to you in a second. Turn it off for about 3 minutes. Okay, and then you check the oil level. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, guys, so the rain came back. I tried to rush it in the garage real quick, and now it stopped again. I don't know. But anyway, I rolled it into the garage. Okay, so it's about 15 minutes idling on the stand. I'm gonna stand it up for 30 seconds. All right. Now, once I stand it up for 30 seconds, I'm gonna put it back on the side stand for 10 seconds. All right. Now, once I put it on the side stand for 10 seconds, I think I got about another, I would say another 10 seconds to go for 30 seconds here. Alright, I'm gonna put it on the side stand for 10 seconds, then you shut it off for 3 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we had 3 minutes. Stop that timer right there. Sit on the bike or let somebody sit on the bike. I got nobody home right now, but this is actually not that hard. I can literally sit on the bike and check the level myself. On the other side, the oil is so clear you really can't see it, but it's like right at the bottom. This thing is so freaking, this thing just burned me too. See it? It's like at the bottom. So I just need to add a little more oil. All right. Actually, I stopped it at 2 minutes because I forgot to turn the timer on. So it's been resting for about, I would say about 4 minutes. All right, so the dipstick is dry. I'm gonna dip it here real quick. The bike is upright. Remember, you don't screw it in, just dip it. Oh yeah, that's perfect right there. If you turn it on the back, you'll actually see where it is. So it's in the crosshairs, and that's where you want it. All right. All right, guys. So the whole process is pretty much finished. Final checks. Make sure Obviously, as I said, 3 3/4 quarts. Make sure your dipstick that's tight. Make sure you snug the top of the gear bolt, the bottom bolt, this one down here, the 21 or the 13/16, that is 16.5 pound-feet of torque. The 2 drain bolts, I'm gonna show you real quick. 2 drain bolts, bone dry. Bone dry, that's 1, and that's 2, right? At 16.5 pound-feet of torque. And you have the, and this bike is freaking hot. And you got the oil filter right over here. I already made sure that is tight. Okay, so no leaks or anything like that. So guys, definitely like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna link the Amsoil stuff in the description. This takes, as you saw, 1040 metric oil. The gear oil, I put in 75/90, anything for a high port gear. And as I said, I trailer my stuff all the time with my Ram 2500, and that's what I use in the differentials. It's very, very good gear oil. 75/90, 80/90. The only difference is the 75/90, that W stands for winter. So obviously it could freeze down to a lower temperature, which means it can flow better in a lower temperature, if anybody, didn't know that. Okay? So once again, guys, make sure you torque all your bolts down. As I said, I'm gonna say it one more time. This top gear bolt right here, that bolt you snug. The bottom one, that 21 millimeter down there, or 13/16, that's 16.5 pound-feet. And the drain plugs, both of them are 16.5 pound-feet as well. Make sure you're using a torque wrench. Do not over tighten, otherwise either you can crack the pan or strip the threads in the pan. You do not want that. The oil filter, all you have to do is you tighten it up and give it another quarter turn. Once you start the bike, I'm telling you, that seal, that gasket swells and it tightens it down even more. Okay? So I have about 1/4 of a quart left over here. So about 3 3/4 quarts is perfect. Guys, as I said, the oil is actually halfway up the crosshairs. You don't have to get it to the full mark. Because if you're doing any type of high revving and stuff like that and there's too much oil in there, it's gonna come through your freaking air filters. If you open that box, they're gonna be soaking in oil. That's just how it is. All right, guys, so hopefully you guys learned something today. In case you didn't know, make sure you follow the processes. 15 minutes idling on the side stand, 30 seconds straight up, another 10 on the side stand, let it cool for 3 minutes, and then check the oil. Just make sure you're letting the bike cool down so the oil can be where it needs to be, and you'll check the correct level like that. Again, do not overfill the oil because you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. So start off with about, I would say you could start off with about either 3.5 or 3 3/4. 3 3/4 should be perfect. And I'm pretty sure this can probably take about 4, but we're not gonna go there. So 3 3/4 is perfect. It's within the crosshairs, and I'm good to go. Guys, trust me when I tell you, when I drive my bike, I'm saying, I don't take it easy on it whatsoever. Again, guys, I'll link everything in the description. The Amsoil oil, the oil filter, that torque head, even the crush washers. I'll definitely link that for you guys. Again, guys, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.